Hello and welcome. I'm speaking to you from Sea Trade Europe in Hamburg, and I'm delighted to say that with me to discuss current events in the industry and the roles that each of these two individuals is doing at MedCruise is Jamil Ouazzani, Ecosystem and Sustainability, Environment, Social, Economical, Wildlife Director for MedCruise, and Valeria Mangiarotti, Technical Environment Solutions Director, also at MedCruise. Came to your the General Assembly, where you
Panamos.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you did some fantastic work there with the One Tree campaign planted.
Yeah.
So I'm really pleased that we're talking about this today, that we're focusing on, sustainability, which you're both very specialised at, and your roles are focused on. So I wonder if, first and foremost, if you could please each tell me your roles and responsibilities in your positions.
Okay. I'm in charge of these departments at MedCruise. And as you know, in MedCruise we have 152 ports, members of MedCruise, and we can say that each port have a different maturity for all these topics. So it's the reason why we choose an holistic approach, because we wanted to give for each port a solution or information for their development. When I say that there are difference, also they are different by with the location. You have ports in Spain, in Italy, you have ports in other countries around the Mediterranean, but you have ports with a core business, a different core business. You have, for example, in Tangier, we have ferries department, we have cruise department, we have the most important marina, for yachting. But you have also military ports, you have industrial ports. In Tangier we have another port, Tangier Med, well known, at 40 kilometers from the city. So at 40 kilometers of the city, there is another dimension very important for sustainability. We are a city port, and we don't have the same objective from a port outside the city. So this is a different approach for sustainability, okay? I work closely with Valeria, because she's responsible of another department, sustainability environmental solution, which is in charge. We decided, of course, to work together, because it was not very efficient to have two departments going by their own way. So we decided to work each other to propose a unique solution for all the topics regarding sustainability, technical solution, environmental solutions, and wildlife and so on. Okay.
That makes sense, Jamil, to utilise that.
Yeah.
But Valeria, as you've mentioned, your role is a little more technical, right? And of course that knowledge is so important right now when we're trying to make ports more sustainable and looking at different fuels. And maybe you could tell us about your role.
Yeah, I think that my task is about a technical environmental solution. So we have a working group about this task. Our work is to analyze all environmental projects of our members, of our ports, and to make a brainstorming about which will be the solution, the real solution about environmental issue. It's necessary to underline that it's not possible to have one solution. We have some solution. And to share with all members the environmental project is crucial to understand where are we going. And that's why the working group is very, very important. I was in the past board. I was involved also in environmental, because you know that it's a topic. and also I am in charge also in ESPO, European Seaports. I'm the president of the Network Cruise and Ferry, and also in this association the environmental issue is my work.
Great. Well, thank you very much. I want to come now to Jamil, because I want to ask Jamil, how important is it that you develop the work on ecosystems? What changes are you seeing in the Mediterranean Sea when it comes to ecosystems?
Okay. As you know, the cruise industry is growing more and more, and there is another thing very important, that various studies of the population see that the most populated city will be city ports in the next few years. So, as you know, when we speak about environmental solution, or when we speak about waste and so on, often the problem is coming from the population, from the behavior of people who do not care and use maybe plastics, for example, or other things. And as you know, we are in the Mediterranean area. It's it's a small sea, and because we have the other ocean, and you have a lot of battle, a lot of traffic, shipping traffic in the Mediterranean. So you have also an increment of the temperature. So these are bad signals for the next future, and you know, with sustainability, we have to preserve for the next generation all the ecosystem. What I thought is there are solutions, and my role and the role of Valeria is to find. We are always looking with Valeria on the web, and we attend other meeting to see if there is a smart solution. What we saw in MedCruise is that all the ports are aware, and they know that there is a problem, and that there is a commitment we saw in each port. So if there is no maturity, they know that sustainability, the topics we develop with Valeria, are very important for them. And I think that the other thing very important is to show to the population that the port is engaged to protect the environmental area.
Right. They're very important, actually. So you're working with Valeria together, and Valeria, how does your role come into that, you know, this strategy, and how are you jointly working on sending a message? What is the message that you would like to send?
The message is that, first of all, it's necessary to have the results. In fact, for this reason, we are making a very important survey to all members to know, to understand how many environmental projects are in the ports, and also how many green solutions are available in our ports. Because actually, we have some European directive, the Green Deal, you know very well, and but sometimes I think that the national law, we have not a national law at the same time, at the same way that implementing the European directive. So sometimes we have a gap between European directive and the national law. This is not good, not only for the investments, but also for the possibility to start to build infrastructure for environmental issue. Obviously, I speak about OPS. OPS, cold ironing, is the main object of our survey to all members. Because the Mediterranean Sea are work in progress about it. Probably some ports are ready, not all ports are ready, but we understand how many ports are ready actually. So, for example, this is an idea.
Great. And when will that survey be ready, Valeria?
The survey will be ready in at the end of October.
Okay.
So in the next General Assembly in Burgas, we will make a very small presentation about results, but we have a consulting company that will help MedCruise to have a result, to work the results.
Great. I look forward to seeing that.
Thank you, yes.
Are you both seeing firsthand economic value being created by cruise lines visiting MedCruise ports?
No.
Yes, of course. As I told you, you have good things and bad things when you speak about cruise industry. But you have good things because, as you know, this industry is growing up, and for an economic value, it's very important to have more calls and to have this industry growing in all the parts of the world, because it creates employment and it creates also value added to all the ecosystem in this destination, guides, travel agencies, restaurants, hotels, and so on. But at the same time, if you have, for example, too much vessels arriving at the same time in a small city, it creates some problem with the population. So in this case, I think is the reason why there you see some association very active in the media. We have to speak with this association and to find a compromise, because if you attack this cruise company, for example, they can say, okay, we will not go to this destination. I think it's not the good solution. You can find a compromise between maybe finding another schedule, not maybe arriving at the same day with all the vessels. They can arrive 1 day after, 2 days after, so not to create much traffic, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there are solutions to be had.
There is always a solution.
Sure.
If they want to find a solution, there is always a solution. I'm not for a direct attack. It's not correct in both parts. Mm. But I think that cruise companies are very aware about that. They know, and also the destination. You have to choose. You want cruise companies coming. You want course. It's okay, but you have to find a good equilibre, I don't know, a good compromise,
sure.
Okay, for the programmation, and it's possible.
So Jamil, Valeria, we've spoken a little bit about the economic side and the benefits to the destinations in the Med, which cruise lines bring when they visit, and you know, I'm really grateful that you've outlined that for me. Jamil, I want to come back to you on this matter, because I know that your role addresses wildlife as well.
Yeah.
So we talk about protecting communities and safeguarding those and preventing overcrowding. But is there anything in particular that you're working on at the moment to address wildlife?
Yes, of course. We have several projects. You went at Palamos, and as I told you before, I'm always looking for smart solutions. Smart, simple, miserable, you know. And because if you don't propose smart solution, if you propose difficult solution, maybe each port will not have maybe the possibility to act or to take this solution in their port. So if you remember at Palamos, I presented a French startup company, and they develop biohuts. It's what are the biohuts? It's a nursery, and they recreate in the port the wildlife, because as you know, when you speak about infrastructure, and we need infrastructure, good infrastructure in the port, you can cancel all the wildlife. with this solution, it's a very simple solution. You can recreate this wildlife. And the second thing, very interesting with this startup, French startup, is the communication, because they organize with the port different sessions with the population. You know, the relation between city and port are very important because you see how the port is engaged.
Sure. And I think Valeria,
I think that the communication is it's crucial also for environmental issue, because when there is for example, to make some protocol between port authority, municipality, region, to understand the green solution. Otherwise, if there is no integrated policy between these stakeholder, we cannot have a very environmental solution. So the communication is important. For example, in Sardinia, we started with the LNG 2 years ago, and at the beginning there was not a protocol, no communication between the municipality and port authority, and we had a problem. Now the problem are resolved, but at the beginning we had a problem. So the communication is crucial for all things, but also for technical environmental solution.
Absolutely, and that is a theme that we hear often now, you know, this importance of communication. It means so much. And Valeria, I wonder if you could tell me, is there a port? I know that there will be many ports in the Med who are working on great initiatives, but are there any in particular that you feel are really leading the way?
We have some environmental technical solution. Actually, we have OPS, cold ironing, LNG, hydrogen, and battery. Probably, in my opinion, LNG is a bridge solution that we have now, actually, in our ports, because we have some, apparently, a lot of cruises with the supply LNG, for example, Costa Smeralda with Costa. We have a lot of ports in Italy and in Spain and in France, in the Mediterranean Sea, are ready for LNG. Obviously, the war in Ukraine has made a problem about the price of LNG, but now I think the situation is more easy. The second is OPS, and the third, the hydrogen. OPS, you know, Italy received a lot of millions of euro about the possibility to start infrastructure of cold ironing. For example, in Sardinian port, we made a public tender about cold ironing. We have now actually we have a project. We are starting to build a new infrastructure about cold ironing. But I told before, we don't have one solution. We have several solutions.
Great, that's good to know. But when you look at the big picture of ports in the Meds, how equipped when it comes to infrastructure are they at being able to adapt and adopt some of these technologies? What are the main challenges? Is infrastructure one of these issues?
Yeah. First of all, I think that it's important to understand that the law about environmental issue sometimes is not so clear. So first of all, to have a clear law, and I told before, the European directive has not implemented by national law at the same time in the same way. This is a problem. Secondly, we have a bureaucracy for authorization to start the infrastructure. Sometimes this bureaucracy, especially in the Mediterranean Sea, can create a gap between North Europe and South Europe. And the last but not least, some company decided to choose other country where the authorization are more clear. there is a possibility to start to build a new infrastructure without a lot of authorization. So the law, the bureaucracy, and the investment are three elements. When we will have these elements more clear, more simple, I think that we will be able to have a green solution about cold ironing more and more simple. But actually, we are in the middle because we have money, we have a project, but we have a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of authorization. So when you decide to start to build a new infrastructure, maybe you can finish in 5-6 years, but European Community asked to finish in 2 years. So 5 years is too much. So we are in the middle, we don't know, but okay, we are working.
Got it. Thank you, Valeria. And on to my final question now. You've both been working in the industry and have great experience. But I'd like to know if there was one change that you could see in the next 3 years, what would that change be?
I hope. When I'm going on the web and when I'm going to look for a solution, and when I'm reading reports, I'm a little bit pessimist. I'm a little bit pessimist because I think, and Valeria told about that there is a gap between maybe some laws. We are in the Mediterranean, so in Italy you have law, in Spain, in Morocco, other law, Algeria and other countries, but the maturity are not the same. And I saw that during the COVID. During the COVID, it was very difficult for the cruise company to manage what was happening, because every country have their policy, and there is not only one policy. This is the first step, the first thing I want to say. About sustainability, I think it is and it will be the big challenge. You know, sustainability is not only for an economic point of view. You have three interdependent dimensions. You have also social. So social is very important. I told you that in the next few years, the most populated city will be the port city. So when you see, for example, in the Mediterranean, for example, I didn't spoke about Plastic Smart Cities is an initiative I proposed to MedCruise, and we are working with this initiative. But if you see the statistics, each year you have more than 300 million tons of plastic waste in the Mediterranean, and only 9% of this are recycled. So it means that if we continue like this, in 2050, there will be more plastic than fish. And what I don't understand is why, and we do it in Morocco, for example, at Tanger. I think we have a best practice because last year we proposed in several events to the school, university, and also the family an event with WWF, the representative of WWF in Morocco, and we thought that all the people came at the port to see what's happening in the Med and also in our coast. Were very surprised of the problem of the plastic, and I told you that communication is very important. We made a good communication, and the communication for this event reached more than 3,500,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, and after we saw that all the young people made a lot of discussion in the social media. There was a lot of buzz in the social media, but there is only one thing. It's a small thing. I think that we have to communicate more about the problems, because it's a problem. And I hope that maybe in 2030, because Plastic Smart City, we are engaged to stop the plastic leakage until before 2030, could be something realizable. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
And the same to you, Valeria.
Yeah, I think that I hope that in the future we will have a general protocol with the same rule for all ports. Should be very, very important, very, very helpful for all of us. And one thing, we are working. Our behavior is, the behavior of Port Authority is changed. Now we know very well that our future will be greener. But don't forget that in our world there are some countries that don't work about it. I was in India this my holiday, and I spent 2 weeks in India, and I was really very surprised because, for example, in Mumbai, to see an island of plastic in the sea. So it's strange because the Europe is working, but the question is, I don't know the other countries. So will be, I know that our port authorities are working. We know very well that our future will be greener and greener, but we don't know the other countries. So the world, is divided into parts.
Well, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure speaking with you, Jamil and Valeria.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you so much, Holly. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Also, you can find out news about MedCruise at www.medcruise.com or head over to our website, www.seatrade-cruise.com. Thanks again for watching.